Hello and welcome to Movie Shorts. I'm Andy Mack. Thank you for joining me. And if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to check out my previous episodes, now streaming on Spotify, Apple, Buzzsprout, and more. This podcast is designed to review films in under 10 minutes without giving too much away. Today's episode is all about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The big one. The long one. The surely this is the last one. So, let's get straight to it. The Final Reckoning is the 8th and apparently final entry in the Mission Impossible series. It's directed by Christopher McQuarrie and stars Tom Cruise, Hayley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, and a whole team of loyal IMF agents you've come to know and love. It's a 2-hour, 50-minute action/thriller/spy drama. And I'm sure you all want to know the answer to the burning question. Does Tom Cruise run in this film? Yes, he does. He sprints through London on more than one occasion. Now, before we get into the plot, we need to go all the way back to the end of Dead Reckoning. At the end of that film, Ethan Hunt and his IMF team had both halves of a special key, one that unlocks a sealed chamber aboard a missing Russian submarine, the Sevastopol. Inside that chamber, the source code to the Entity, an AI so advanced it's basically sentient. It can breach any system, control any network, and now, as we open Final Reckoning, we learn it can access nuclear weapons. The world is on edge. Intelligence agencies are panicking. And Ethan Hunt? He's hiding in London, 3 months later, with longer hair. And I mean much longer hair. Honestly, if I could grow hair that fast, I'd start a wig business. So, to Final Reckoning, Ethan receives a message from the US President. Please, hand over the key. The Entity is evolving. It's no longer just infiltrating tech, it's threatening global stability. But Hunt knows better than to trust a plea from the top, especially when Gabriel, the returning antagonist from Dead Reckoning, is still alive and very much plotting. To find Gabriel, the team first heads to Austria. There, they reconnect with Paris, Gabriel's former sidekick, who's recovered from her near-fatal stabbing and now seems ready to join the good guys. She slips into the IMF with barely a raised eyebrow, which, considering she stabbed people last time, is quite something. Meanwhile, Luther has developed a virus, on a USB stick no less, designed to destroy the Entity. Sort of 2003-2004 energy. All that's missing is a flip phone. But things get messy fast. Ethan and Grace, played by Hayley Atwell, are captured. Gabriel reappears and demands the core module, which, in a fantastic twist of nostalgia, turns out to be the rabbit's foot from Mission Impossible 3. Yes, that mysterious, unlabeled MacGuffin from 2006 finally returns. And it still doesn't fully make sense, which is why we love the Mission Impossible franchise. Gabriel escapes, Luther is trapped underground with a bomb, and Ethan finds a strange device Gabriel's been using to communicate with the Entity. The device shows Ethan a vision, a very literal one, of nuclear apocalypse in just 4 days. Now the mission is clear, thank goodness. The Entity needs a secure digital base to begin its final phase, launching global missiles. That base is located in South Africa. And we will stop there, because you know the rules, no major spoilers on movie shorts. So let's talk about the film. The first hour is muddy. There's no other word for it. It's layered, convoluted, and not every thread gets pulled cleanly. The pacing lags, and for a while you wonder, is this really going to be the final entry, or are we just laying groundwork for part 3? But then, the final hour is everything you want from Mission Impossible. There's tension, there's sweat, there's crews jumping in and out of planes. We get a submarine sequence that's generally claustrophobic and one of the most nerve-wracking plane sequences in the entire franchise. Cruise delivers fully. Even in his 60s, he's giving 110%, hanging from things, running across things, of course, and quite literally throwing himself into the role. Hayley Atwell is excellent. She grounds the whole film. Her chemistry with Cruise is subtle but effective. She sells the stakes. In fact, hers might be the most emotionally convincing performance in the whole film. I want to also mention the lovely surprise that is Ralph Saxton. Yes, the same CIA desk guy from Mission Impossible, 1996, back after nearly 30 years. He was the one in the Langley heist scene when Ethan stole the NOC list while dangling from the ceiling. This nod was classy, unexpected, and full of nostalgic weight. Despite being marketed as a slick techno-thriller, Final Reckoning often feels more like a Cold War film. It's moody, paranoid, full of sharp suits, dark rooms, flickering monitors, and trust issues. At one point, Hunt, or maybe it's Cruise himself, turns to the camera and asks us to trust him one last time. And you know what? We do. Now, not everything works. Gabriel, who was so menacing in Dead Reckoning, feels more like a chess piece here. Important, but not all that threatening. And although the runtime hits nearly 3 hours, it still feels like they tried to cram too much in. Character arcs and geopolitical angst. That said, the final act delivers. There's resolution. There's evolution, particularly for Luther, Hunt, and even our returning agent from Langley, even if he does look a bit like Richard Osman. And while there's technically room for more, I really hope they leave it there. It's a good ending. Let it be the final reckoning. Mission Impossible, the final reckoning. Fast-paced, muddy, but full on. Thank you for listening to Movie Shorts. Don't forget to follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Buzzsprout. And also follow me on Instagram at Movie Shorts Andy Mac. Until next time, goodbye.